Hello gorgeous souls, welcome to my channel. In today's reading we are doing a pick a card on really like how to heal your soul. So if there is any imbalance, anything that is not quite completely aligned, to find out what it is and how to bring it back to balance. And this is like as well a timeless reading, so whenever you see this reading it's your time to watch it, and it was meant to find you. And if you never watch any of this pick a card reading, please keep in mind this is a general reading, so you want to really tap into your own intuition and just take with you what resonates and leave out completely the rest. To choose the pile, we have 4 different piles. The first one, some people choose by intuition, just by the number of the pile, or you can choose as well by the crystal that assigned to each pile. So for example, for pile number 1, we have this piece of iridescent black tourmaline. Some people also call it, I think, peacock feather because of the way it looks. So this is for pile number 1. Then we have for pile number 2 this piece of Aventurine. Then we have for pile number 3 this piece of purple spirit quartz cluster. You can see it. It's a bit of a long name. It's really pretty. And then finally for group number 4 we have this piece of tiger eye. Perfect. So pause the video if you need to in order to choose your pile, and once you made your selection you can scroll down in the description box and you can click on the timestamp of your pile of choosing. So I'm looking forward to see you there. Bye. Hi pile 1, if you chose this piece of iridescent black tourmaline, then this is your reading. So let's see what we got for you. We have the first tarot cards. So we have 5 cards. I will tell in a second what they represent. And then we have clarifiers for each one of them. All right. Oops, sorry, you cannot see the last one. Okay. Well, it's very interesting. Already I can feel and see that you are already quite balanced overall. There is nothing feels extremely out of balance. Everything feels quite aligned already. Of course, there is always some little things that we can work on to make everything better. But overall, I'm getting already the feeling that yeah, you really like are in a good place internally. Your soul is already like on the right path. Okay, let's see what else we got for you. So first a clarifier for the first card. We have beginnings. Then we have help from above. The second one. Then we have witness the present for the third card. We have stand for the fourth, and then we have the rose thread for the last one. All right, I don't think you can see the last one very well. Let me just move things again a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, I will show it to you later better once we get to that card. All right, okay, so let's start. So for the first card, the first 2 cards, really, we're looking at the state of your soul, the current state or condition of your inner self. And we have the Knight of Pentacles and New Beginnings. What really comes to me with these 2 cards that you are a person, or you've been at least within this period of time, quite focused on prioritizing security. There is a sense of like prudence and meticulousness, and there might have been also quite a focus on the work aspect, and it feels like there is like, maybe you started a new project within work or something that you're passionate about, and your soul is being completely focused on doing everything right, or putting like the work, the effort in, and it doesn't feel there is so much space for fun and enjoyment at this point here, but it feels like you're very focused. You know where you want to go, and you've actually already begin the journey that you wanted to be on. So you like, it feels like you have your ideas quite clear on what wanted to manifest, and what is your path at this point in time, and you're on it. You're like on track, and you put in like a lot of work and effort for it. So it feels like very, very solid. The sense I'm getting is like a lot of solidity, very, very solid. We have then the second set of cards that represent more of like if there is any sense of imbalance or what might be causing the imbalance. And we have the Fool, and this card that says help from above. And what comes to me with these two cards, it feels that maybe you've been more focused on the practical aspect of things, from more of a logic standpoint, for like doing everything you set out to do, all your tasks, from more like a mind space. But you maybe have forgotten to, like, a part of you have maybe let go the idea of like trusting the universe and just surrendering, because it feels like you do have a lot of invisible help that you're not really assessing because you're not fully open to it. But that support and that help is there. So it feels like your soul is just waiting for you to open again that channel, because you will actually, through as well this element of surrender and opening up to all the support you have that you're not aware of. Maybe you are aware to some extent, but you're not really, doesn't feel like you're utilizing it at this point in time. You're more focused on the practical aspect, on how to go about whatever project you had, that you just kind of like almost forgot that there is like a completely different, sorry about that, completely different additional set of support that you can use that will also allow you to enjoy more the process while you go through it, but also like go faster instead of going backwards, or just like it will help you to take further faster steps ahead. Again, like I get the feeling that this is just like a refinement. You know, the overall sense is that you are like already on your path and you're very aligned, and whatever you want to manifest is completely on track. It's just opening up more that channel that you already have that is within you, and assessing the support of your guides or your past loved ones. Like, it's all there for you. You just need to kind of like, in a sense, remember it, and opening more yourself to it, because it's already anyway present for you. So it feels like it's really positive, I will say. Then we have the third set of cards, and this is like sort of like the how to heal, the steps, the actions or the steps to take to heal more of your soul. And we have the Chariot and Witness the Present. And I get the same sense with this, that what we were just talking about before, that there is an element of you that is very practical, that has been handling things in a very logical, practical way. But there is the need of more balance. Like, there are two horses here that will bring you forward. If you just use one, you will still reach your goal, but it's not going to be the same. And there is a sense of like, you like to go full steam ahead. You want to have both. You want to have the balance of these opposite forces, the logic, the practical, the put in the effort, but as well the etherical, the energetical part that you don't really see with your eyes, but is there. It's very much there. And there is also an element with witnessing the present, and maybe there has been a focus of more like the future and achieving in a sense, the goals that you had set for yourself, which are amazing and great. But there is an element of, in a sense, it's like stopping more and smelling the roses, right? And like enjoying more the present moment, like just enjoying yourself a bit more. Like there is a bit of a lack of this element of like, I'm just like having a good time while at it, right? Instead of just like being hard work or like seriousness, there is an element of like enjoying the magic within the present moment without focusing so much on the future. Because if you do trust and let go more, then you can be more in the present, and you can also enjoy the process while it unfolds, because it's already, in a sense, it's already laid out for you. You're already doing what you're supposed to do. It's just about improving. I will say what a situation is already pretty good, because it can be better. It can be more playful, it can be more joyful, it can be more blissful, if you want to use that term, but there is so much more that you can still experience within doing the same process, but just with a different, let's say, perspective, or including an additional perspective, which is the balance between the mind and all the spiritual part and the energetical part. So that's very beautiful. Then we have the fourth set of cards. We have what to release, in a sense of like the negative, the possible negative energy, or maybe past traumas that will be good to let go. And we have the Knight of Wands and the Stand that says courage, determination, fearlessness. What it comes to me with this, again, it's nothing really feels that negative in your reading, pile one. Like, you're doing pretty good. I want to say, like, this is pretty amazing. It's just, again, this element of like smoothing a little bit the edges, and like the little aspect or little details that you can improve, and therefore have like a better life, a better outcome, a better experience. And within these cards, what it comes through is like there is a sense of like, maybe because you're somebody probably that is really used to take action, because you know where you're going. So taking action is not a problem, but there might be a sense of like sometimes impulsiveness. Like there is like, because there is a lot of confidence within what you're doing or where you're going, and sometimes there might be an element of, again, with the previous card, of like missing out of being more in the present. So it's a kind of like, in a sense, these cards, what are telling me is like, it's good as well sometimes to slow down a little bit, to take the time to enjoy more. And even when you make decision, for example, even though you know you have that sense that is like, okay, this is the right thing, I want to do this, it's always good anyway to take like a moment to breathe and not jump into it immediately, because anyway, if it's the right decision, even if you wait a couple more minutes, a couple more days, it's not going to necessarily change the outcome, but it will give you like a better breather time in between to maybe feeling into yourself, receiving the support or the guidance from whatever you channel, and tapping more into not just your mind, but like a deeper layer of you, because with this immediate action you tap into like the conscious mind, and that part is quite limited, so you can end up making even better decision in a sense if you give yourself just a bit more time to feel into it and to come up with it from a place of internal balance, more than kind of like, boom, this is the answer, this is the mind speaking. I mean, for some of you, this kind of like pause might be even just a few minutes. I'm not talking about like a long extent, but always when you kind of make a choice or take an action, just to kind of have the moment of reflection, even if it's just, again, a few seconds, even then, but just including the other part that is not just mind driven, but it's deeper. So yeah, it's again, it's just let's say this is a refinement, because everything is already pretty good, and because you're really in alignment of also the choices that you make, they are in alignment. So they are good anyway, but there is that element of like, there can be even an aspect of a bit more depth, or a bit more enjoyment, or a bit more mindfulness in it, instead of the impulsivity of like just jumping straight head forward. Again, as I said before, very positive overall anyway. And then we have the last set of cards that we have, let's say the part of like to embrace the positive energy or practices that we could adopt. And we have Three of Cups, and then I'm going to show you as well this card because it's a little bit further, you cannot really see it properly. And then we have the Rose Thread that says inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. And with the Three of Cups, this reading is very much kind of repeating the same parts and elements, because what is coming through is, again, this, what to really embrace or include more is this sense of enjoyment, of like taking the time to enjoy your life while this process unfolds, because this is also extremely important. And why not? I mean, while you already are in the good path, why not like make the most out of it and also have a good time? And what also comes with these two cards together, what it feels like to really make sure that you also spend time and enjoy time with the community that is aligned to your soul, not just to your mind, and not just to, like, the type of crowd that just nurture your soul, because not all the connection that we have in most of the cases are soul connections, and in some cases they're just people that maybe we have some affinity with, and maybe they're like the work connected, but there is the lack of like true soul connection. And in this case it feels like the connection they're truly nurturing for you, not just the type of friends that you go out for a night and you drink and you don't really talk about anything deep, but that type of community that really nurture you on a very deep level, because this is actually going to support you more and more to tap into that part of yourself that is really that deeper part that needs to kind of come a bit more in balance. And the part of you that is, I don't want to say more spiritual, but more connected to the universe and more connected to your guides. So yeah, it feels like it's quite important to connect more with that, and in a sense also prioritize these connections, and to spend more time with those soul nurturing connections that either you already have in your life, and if you don't already have them and you feel you don't have enough, then to open up the space for more of them, so that your life can be even more fulfilling and even more aligned to your soul than what already is. So as I said, again, overall very positive, but you know, it's always good to improve. I'm just gonna pick a few more cards from other decks for some additional messages. We have Surrender to the Sweetness, Venus Energy, Pleasure, Joy, Make Love to Life. I mean, okay, yes, exactly. I'm just gonna read this one more time. I'm sorry, this is just so perfect for you. Surrender to the Sweetness, Venus Energy, Pleasure, Joy, Make Love to Life. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, this card really says it all. I'm getting some really nice goosebumps here, because it's like everything is already great, but it can be even better. So again, I think this reading for you, as I was saying before, is just about those refinements point where you can really, you know, like go from great to bliss, from great to the next level. And that includes, you know, like be more in your pleasure, enjoy more your life, like prioritizing things that you love, connection that really nurture your soul, as I was saying before. So yeah, everything is already great, but it can be better. So yes, oh my god, yes. And then we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposite extremes of life. Again, I'm getting the same message as we were saying before about the duality. It's about like really allowing the part of you to, the logical mind to surrender. Yes, it's helpful to get stuff done. It's helpful to accomplish things, but at the same time you can, it's an opposite where like if you just listen to that, it's not gonna bring you where really you wanna go, and it's not gonna definitely bring you to the sweetness, the joy, the pleasure, you know, like it's just quite limiting. You can be on the right path and do technically everything great, but then still not enjoying life fully, and that would be a pity, right? Because it's like, again, why not go to the next level, you know? Why not experience even more blissful and powerful life? Now we have Spirit of the Guardian Summer Expansion. Oh my god, like I don't know if you can really see it through the video, but like this picture is like this blossoming, it's like a feast for the eyes. Like I'm getting like such a like abundance, bliss, lushness from this, and it's like the only way you can reach this expansion is connecting more with, as we were saying at the beginning, with that inner part of you, with that help from outside, with that channeling, with allowing like really more of your heart to speak instead of just your mind. And it's just, it feels like, honestly, for you or many of you, like the step is actually not too big, you know, like you're just there. It's just kind of making this sort of switch off so that you can reach that next level of expansion and beauty in life. And then we have, these are so beautiful, Spirit Guardian of Spring Activation. Yep. It's once you kind of like open more of that part, you know, like there is a deeper part of you that will be activated, and you can, it's such a small step. It feels like for many of you such a very small step that you can just kind of jump into that so fast, and it will bring you, it's an activation that will bring you to that next level of really living more blissfully, you know, like living more joyfully, living from a more pleasurable standpoint, and really at the end of it just making you enjoy more of your life. Because yes, it's important to be on the right path, but you also want to have like a decent and actually a good time while you do it, because sometimes you're just too focused on the result, or like the things that we want to reach, and we forget like the process along the way. So yeah, I feel like this, I've concluded, I wanted to pick more cards, but I feel like all of the cards are saying the same thing. So it's like, feels like a very clear message for you guys. I hope this was helpful and resonated. You're very welcome to let me know in the comments. If you'd like to support me, please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. I will be really grateful. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! Hi Pile 2, if you chose this piece of Aventurine, then this is your reading. Let's see what we got for you. So we have the first tarot cards. They're divided in 5 cards. I will explain in a second what each card means. And then we have the other cards, they're like clarifiers. Let me just move so you can see all the cards. Perfect. So, and then we have the clarifiers. This one, maybe laugh already. Avoid drama. Self-love, beautiful. Yeah, stillness. Yep, sage. And then the last one, we have trust the seasons. Okay, perfect. All right. So Alrighty, okay. Off the bat, I feel like these like emotional unsettlement going on. We're gonna get into the reading in a second. Yeah, sense of like maybe you've been wronged by somebody, or something wasn't just quite right that happened to you. Some people didn't maybe behave in the in a sense the correct way. Sorry. But yeah, there is already like a sense of like, I'm gonna say like mourning almost. But yeah, let's get into the each card so we can go step by step. So the first set of cards that we have here is like, let's say the state of your current, the state of the soul, your current condition of your inner self. And we have the Hermit and the Moon Madness with a Void Drama. I want to show you this one, how pretty it is. And I love that it's in conjunction with the Hermit because it's kind of perfect. But yeah, I'm getting the sense that currently you've been actually stepping away, you've been withdrawing from drama, from some people that felt like quite toxic. And you're just really needing to recollect your energy in a way that from a self-nurturing point of like staying away because some things that maybe happened weren't quite aligned or weren't quite right. And there is like a real need in a sense of withdrawal. Needing to withdraw, needing to retreat, needing to avoid whatever emotional chaos is going on, maybe with other people, and there is a sense of like some stillness that is found currently in this state of like retreat, because it felt like it was too much before. Yeah, I felt like there is like a really strong need of like this just a sense of like quietness and not be surrounded by this toxicity and this kind of wrong people, and to find kind of more peace with that, more harmony. We have as a second set of cards, we have like sort of like the source of the imbalance or what is causing the imbalance, and this is actually what gave me the sense of like the maybe betrayal or like something that happened wasn't supposed to happen, because we have the Eight of Cups and the self-love, and I feel like you maybe already have moved away from some toxic people. Maybe you have broken up a relationship, something that has hurt you quite deeply, and you have done all of this from a place of self-love for yourself. It wasn't from a place of like vengeance or a place from or a place of like you wanted to somehow get back to the other person in any way, shape or form. It was from a place of I'm gonna care for myself now, because you felt like maybe something or somebody wasn't quite right for you, and something was quite unaligned, quite toxic, and yeah, for some reason I'm getting, maybe not for everybody, but I'm getting the sense that for some of you it was actually a breakup with a partner, and whatever that person did was not quite right. I get a sense that you were betrayed in some way, shape or form from somebody close to you, or maybe a person who was a partner, and you were either thinking of step away from or like dissociate yourself from the situation, or you already have done so, because again, from a place of self-love, from a place of like, I know this situation, this person is not good for me, and I'm actually stepping away and I'm leaving it away. And this kind of fits in with Hermit card of before and the Void Drama, because there might have been something that has involved more people, and maybe it's something that happened to you but has become like a bigger thing. So you were like, nope, I'm out of here. But again, this sense of like retreating and walking away feels like very, very healthy. In both cases, feels very, very, very needed and very, very healthy. Then we have the third set of cards. We have like sort of like how to heal, the steps or action to take to heal your soul. And we have the Justice card and stillness. I love it. I love that as well in this Justice card. I don't know if you can see it here. She has like her third eye open, awake. And what these two cards are saying to me is that sort of like being really aware of what happened in the past that you felt like it was unbalanced, because it's like karma is real. But of course, sometimes doesn't really happen immediately, right? Sometimes somebody can wrong you, and in this lifetime you don't see a response of that. But there is a sense of like being really clear within yourself that what happened wasn't right, and finding that stillness and that alignment to actually have a firm ground with that, because there could have been a lot of manipulation going on around you, that whatever happened wasn't that bad, or maybe it was your fault, or somebody trying to convince you of something that is like to in a sense try to manipulate you, trick you, like, oh no, but it wasn't that bad, it wasn't my fault, it was kind of your fault, this kind of vibe. And to really making sure that you're not believing any of that you really kind of stick to what happened, kind of internally get clarity in your phase of like retreat as well, and in your moment of stillness of like, okay, what really happened, how did it affect you, and in a sense to not to demand justice, but to really hold your ground with whatever version that you have of what happened in your perception. Because I can sense of maybe layers of manipulation that have been in place of like, maybe it wasn't the fault of the person that did the action and stuff like this. But if you allow yourself to kind of take the answer from inside, from a still place, then you can kind of see more clearly what happened, and it will be less easy for somebody else to manipulate you in a version of the events that is not quite right. So I feel like, again, like in a sense, like the step to take is very aligned with this eremit mode of this retreating, this taking time and taking space, processing. It feels like a lot of processing and just kind of being really aware of what happened, and just allowing as well karma to kind of like to take place. But I feel like because of the Justice card did show up, I feel like whoever in a sense hurt you, like within a short period of time will be kind of like, it will have a karma effect on even if it's one person or multiple people, something will happen soon. The karma will be present quite soon. Maybe it's not present right now, but it will be coming into a place of balance and fairness fairly soon. Then we have the next set of cards that says like what to release, what negative energy or like past traumas that you could let go of. And we have the Two of Swords, and then we have Sage with harmony, acceptance, and patience. And what immediately came through when I saw these two cards is like, maybe in the past you've been, I don't want to say manipulated, but you've been kind of like confused or made believe like some choices that were not really good for you but somebody kind of tricked you into thinking, this person, maybe that was not good for you. You're like, oh, maybe, like they say they're gonna change, or like maybe it's a friend, maybe it can be even like a family member. But there is a sense of like you having like, you always had in front of you like two choices. Like the one that was more from a place of self-care, and the other one that was more like, oh, I'm gonna listen to what the other person wants or the other person needs. And now what is really time to let go of this listening to other people's needs or other people's views on what you should do, how you should feel, how you should behave, and really go after this piece of you that is looking for the harmony, the acceptance, the patience, like that is nurturing to your soul. And it's all connected with the self-love part. It's like making the choice that is linked to self-love instead of prioritizing somebody else, truth, needs, you name it. Yeah, and I feel like whatever happened where you started to walk away already kind of create, is like, it felt like it was sort of like a wheel that was set in motion, that now you're really much more aware of all of this. So it's more unlikely that you will possibly choose a direction clearly for that person who was involved. You will not choose them before you. But this can be even talking about any future dynamics with friends or partners and family, where it's really important that you tune into your own inner voice, your own self-love, and your own sense of like what is going to bring you truly harmony, instead of like wanting to make maybe other people happy or satisfy other people's needs. So just like to have more awareness, not just for this situation or whatever happened, but also for future reference, because being kind is beautiful, and of course it's beautiful to be around somebody that is kind. But you always have to remember as well to have kindness for yourself in the first place. So in the moment you prioritize somebody else's needs and wants, and you forget about your own, of course there is like you being very unkind to yourself to begin with. So there is an imbalance right there. So yeah, and we have like the next set of cards, which is like what to embrace, what positive energy or practices you want to kind of include or adopt. And I love it. We have the Queen of Wands, and I'm going to show you this one a bit more from close because it's right at the corner. We have Trust the Seasons, Embracing Change, Cycle of Life, Transition, and Growth. And again, I'm getting the sense of like what to embrace more is like choosing you. Number one is like you have to choose, you will want to choose yourself. There is a sense of like growth and becoming really like in the picture here. I'm gonna show you one more time. There is like three versions of this woman. There is a younger version, there is a present version, there is the crown version, and it speaks to me as well about wisdom and sovereignty, and really kind of growing into your full potential of yourself. And of course it's like the Queen of Wands kind of represent that too, like this kind of like confidence, independence, like like she's a queen. She owns her life, she owns her path, she knows where she's going, she knows what she's doing, she's very confident in herself, and she don't take any type of like I don't want to say shit from somebody, but I'm gonna say she's not gonna take anything negative that will affect her just to please somebody else. And this is really like, I feel like the key of this reading is like taking the retreat part, but as well stepping into this side of you that is more empowered, and it just a side of you that will listen to your own needs, that will prioritize your own needs, and like in a sense embrace your own growth and sovereignty. Because yeah, when you prioritize other people, it's never really going to end up well, especially if those people are like toxic in some way, shape or form. So yeah, I feel like this message is very, very clear. Ooh. I'm gonna pick some more cards for you to see what other message are coming through. I'm gonna pick from this beautiful deck and see if some more messages want to come through. I feel like this card is really cool. Oh, we got that from the previous group as well. We have surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Yeah, ultimately we want to enjoy life, not just like you know, being in a place of like, oh, things are okay. No, you know, like you want to really get to the place of really fully you know, really fully making the best out of everything. And this part is not gonna come if you don't step into your power, if you don't step into your own authenticity. Then we have loosen your grip, coping mechanism, density, addiction, let God in. Yeah, I feel like this is fixed about kind of the same thing of really there have been some coping mechanism of like prioritizing other people, as we were talking about the two of swords before, of like making in a sense the wrong decisions just because you wanted to prioritize your friend, your partner, and that was not really healthy for you. And there is a lot of density that comes with that, and of course unhappiness as well. But if you kind of get in a place of stillness and you let the universe in, you can say God, I say the universe, it's gonna be a very different experience, and all begins with self-love, with these steps that I feel like you've already taken. But I feel like this situation, that whatever happened, is already pretty clear to you. But this is as well, especially for any future dynamics, to kind of, in a sense, stop them from even before they happen, so that you're not gonna find yourself in the same spot as you've been finding yourself at this point. And then we have flexibility, will of spirit. And I feel like what is coming through with this card is like having the capacity of like adjust in a sense, right? Because life can throw at you different things at different times, and having the flexibility of like your response to things, the way you decide to manifest something or change something, sometimes requires flexibility, because sometimes we have like a specific mindset, and we need to be able to grow from it and learn from it, so that we can adjust and take the better path for us, so that we can reach whatever we want to reach. And in this case, feels like this element of like peace and joy and blissfulness. But yeah, to have the flexibility within the process of really as well changing. What also comes like with changing your patterns, changing this way where we're making choices based on somebody else's needs versus like your own needs, for example. This feels like a very important part of like having the capacity to bend to that, and just kind of acquiring new ways to in a sense to face things or to grow. And then we have one more card. We have patience. And yeah, it's true, like some special changes, deep changes often require patience, because sometimes things change immediately, but for them to really change in a very permanent way, sometimes it does require this element of like going through it, the patience for the pattern to really shift. So flexibility and patience feels like they're very important for you at this time, in order to be able to step into this version of you that is like in full sovereignty, full empowerment, and full growth. But I do feel like you do have all the tools that you need for you to reach this place, and it's all really there for you. Just have the patience and the flexibility, and you will be able to get there and have like a more balanced and happy life. So I hope this resonated. You're very welcome to let me know in the comments. If you'd like to support me and support the channel, please subscribe. I will be very grateful, and also like the video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye. Hi Pile 3, if you chose this piece of like purple spirit quartz cluster, long name, then this is your reading. Let's see what we got for you. So we have a set of tarot cards I'm gonna place first. I will tell you in a moment what the cards represent. And then we have as well clarifier for each card. So that you can see all of them. We have clarifier, we have higher power for the first one, we have hole in the soul for the second, we have metamorphosis for the third, we have rider for the fourth, and we have the wasteland for the fifth. All right. Wow. It's interesting because the general feeling of the reading, I feel like it's just kind of like I'm going down here, like this sense of like, you know, you want it to get in the next phase to really blossom. It looks from some ways that you've already blossomed into the butterfly, but there is a part of it that is still in the, feels like in the cocoon phase. Yeah. Let's get into the reading like step by step with each card. So we have the first set of cards, we have the Three of Pentacles and the higher power. And the first cards really represent, in a sense, the state of your soul, the current condition, in a sense, of your inner self. And with these two cards, I'm actually getting different messages. Of course, this is a general reading. I'm getting like, for some of you, this represent like being already involved in like a project or a community that can be possibly very spiritual. It's something that is really aligned to your spirit. That I get like in the case for like everybody, there is a sense of like a gratitude of this this situation. For some of you, it might be as well like the family that you were raised in, like some of the value that you resonated with, and you feel like it was quite like aligned in terms of value. There is something that feels like very connected, and from some other people, some other of you, it feels like that you had a community that maybe it was a bit challenging, but that it was what you were supposed to experience because of like the learning and the growth that you got. I feel like the majority of you is you're already doing a sort of like a work and a job that is like aligned with your higher self and the universe and the higher power, and you have around like a sense of like team and people that you really see eye to eye with, and there is even like a sense of support from this team and these people, but something that feels very, very aligned from, in a sense of like if you're already working, like if you're in the age of you're already working, like for the work that you do, or like some sort of heart-centered project, but something in the present moment that feels quite aligned with the group of people that you have around, that it feels like a very spiritually sourced and really fulfills your soul as well, doing this type of work. Maybe you work helping people, and that feels like very, very fulfilling in that sense. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, maybe like for many of you is this having fun, like this type of work, that it's very aligned with your purpose and fulfills you on a very deep level. And I get a sense for everybody, a sense of gratitude because of that. So that's quite beautiful. Then we have the second set of cards, which is like sort of like the source of imbalance. What is really causing the imbalance within your soul, and what kind of like the root of where the healing needs to go. And we have the Page of Swords and the Hole in the Soul. And what it really comes to for me with these two cards is a sense of like having maybe projected outside a version of you that was fully like healed, fully kind of like in balance, fully like ready to learn, ready to go about without like a care in the world. But there is another side of you that maybe through the way you were raised, family, wounding, there is a side of you that has this wounding but has kind of like covered them because I didn't feel like maybe appropriate to show it, or like maybe there was a sense of shame at the time, and now it became more like a sort of a coping mechanism where it's just kind of like the wounded side gets kind of like not really shown. So with that not really being on the surface, has been harder for you to work on it. I also get a sense, is like with the gratitude of before, that you feel like you shouldn't even feel bad about certain things or certain wounding because it's like you're so fortunate. But being grateful and have been fortunate in some things doesn't necessarily mean that those wounding are not there in the first place, nor that you don't need to, in a sense, like work through them or heal them, because they will still continue being there with you in the process. And of course, it's like they don't allow you to live fully, like in the most vibrant way possible. It's like you also like functioning with not your full energy, but it's just kind of like there is a lot that is kind of keeping this side down. So like a lot of your unconscious energy goes onto that. So you're not really have the availability of all your energy, and everything that you can give is actually, like a bit reduced because of that. And then we have like the next set of cards is like how to heal, sort of like the steps or action that you can take to heal more of your soul. And I love that we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have Metamorphosis with I create unrelenting change in every aspect of my life. And really what it comes through with this is like, the need for you to be fully yourself. Like, yes, fully yourself includes like the shadows, includes the aspects that are not perfect. And even if you do have gratitude for what you already have present in your life, doesn't mean that things cannot get better. It doesn't mean that also maybe there is a fear that you're scared of shaking the boat in a sense, because you don't want maybe some positive aspect that you have in your life to change. But even if they do change, it will be a positive change, because it will be like integrated with a shadow or like a wound that is there that needs healing. And, there is this sense, as I said at the beginning, that I got that sense of like, like looking from outside already as a butterfly, but internally feeling that you're already in the cocoon phase. And until you don't really fully kind of look in those woundings that happened, most likely when you were a child, and you don't allow yourself to fully embody everything and like reintegrate everything within you, and for you to be fully 100% yourself and authentic, then you're not going to be able to fully have this blossoming aspect of becoming the butterfly, because a part of you, like you may be able to, in a sense, fool other people from the outside, but internally, a lot of your energy will still be kind of like caught in this process of like hiding some parts and not allowing you to fully blossom, because life could be so much more vibrant if you allow yourself to really be 100% yourself. And I feel this, like that, I don't know, I'm going to show you better. I'm close. You can see it's like inside she's sleepy, right? Like she's resting, because it takes a lot to be in the cocoon phase, to be able to repress certain things. And I feel like once you are allowing the change and the metamorphosis to happen, then it will be vibrance. It will be vibrance all over. If you've been having, like, in the recent past as well, some sort of like health problem that you don't have a lot of energy, a lot of this, not maybe everything, but some of this can also be linked to the fact that a lot of your energy goes into this part, in this process. So once you kind of like allow yourself to be fully yourself and cut through whatever is the wound that is holding you back, then you will actually reassess a lot of energy that was there. And maybe some of the, if you had some health concern, some of them will just actually go away because they were created by this lack of energy in the first place. This may be just for some of you, but I feel like in general, you will become way more vibrant on all levels once you kind of go through this process fully. It just feels like, you know, like the magic out of the door is like, it's gonna be fantastic, and like sparkles and beauty and fun. So that feels like really amazing. Then we have the next set of cards. It's like more like the what we need to release, like what negative energy or past traumas we need to let go of. And we have the Five of Pentacles. And then we have the Rider with movement, quick decision, and progress. And maybe for some of you, like, you've grown up with a sort of like, I want to say a lack mentality versus life, money, where things are not enough. There is not enough money, there is not enough love, there is not enough something. And that might have affected you in life, in achieving what you wanted to achieve, and in having fear as well that maybe that will be taken away as well. And it feels like what is important to let go at this point is that belief of whatever lack is attached to. You don't have to live by that any longer. Like, things can move quickly, can progress really quickly, and there is enough for everybody. So if you have any sense, and what comes with this is like, if you can take the time to journal, would be very, very helpful for you, like to journal in which aspect you feel like lack. It doesn't have to be necessarily money, but maybe for many of you it could be money related, but it could be love, it could be joy, it could be, you know, the love that you could receive or give, your love life, anything that is linked to the sense of lack or there is not enough. I would encourage you to journal about it, because it feels like it's holding you back in your progress quite a lot. And it might be really connected with the wounding that we were talking about it before, because it's being kind of influence your life negatively in that sense, and kind of like almost holding a break on all your steps and accomplishments. Then we have the last cards of this set, and we have like sort of like the cards of like what to embrace, what kind of positive energy or practices we can adopt for healing your soul. And we have the Seven of Wands and the Wastelands with sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. I'll show you this one as well, because I don't know if you can see it. And what is coming with these two cards is like, you know, like it's yes, it's important to have a sense of like a perseverance, right? Like of like going through and, you know, like sort of like be reborn from the ashes and fight for the things that you want to achieve. But at the same time, the truth is like everything has to be sustainable. So it feels like what these cards talk about is like, yes, it's important that you go for what you want and you have the sense of taking action and have the willingness for things to get a little bit intense and a little bit hard sometimes. But it's really important that at the same time they're also sustainable, because otherwise you're not like, it's going to be counterproductive. this element of like, I'm gonna burn myself out to achieve what I want. It's not gonna really work like that. So there is a sense of like tuning into more what is sustainable on a deeper level for you, and that will also come once you will, again, it's all linked. It's like once you tune into more of whatever is the one thing that you haven't really looked into it yet, or you haven't really fully explored yet. I feel like everything will be also more clear of what you need to sort of like tend to your garden. There is an element as well, like if you feel like you are working too much, to slow that down. And to make sure that you nurture yourself, because there is enough for everybody. There is enough money, enough love, enough opportunities. So kind of over burning yourself, even if you're grateful for what you do and the possibilities that you had or they were given to you, it doesn't mean that you don't have to take care of yourself on a deeper level. So I'm gonna I don't understand. I was gonna pick more cards. I had this card coming up for all the groups. I mean, I don't know how it's possible, but I love it. I mean, it's a gorgeous card. I guess it's like the message that everybody has to hear. Surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. And yeah, ultimately it's like we need to be able to surrender, right? Like, and to allow this space for pleasure and joy, and to really like focus on, again, what nurtures you, what kind of you love to do, so that you can have more of the frequency in your life, because otherwise life become not sustainable. A part that is also not going to be that enjoyable, but especially will not be as sustainable if we don't allow that more space for like being in that kind of like, you know, with the Venus energy, I feel like also more in the feminine sort of like energy, where there is more space for enjoyment and more the pleasure of life, not just to kind of like working hard or like try to kind of cover some things because maybe they feel to you they're not perfect, or side of you that you don't feel that quite as perfect as you would like them to be. But it's all keeping you away from this sense of like fully surrendering to the sweetness of life, which is there for you, is accessible if you go through the step that we were talking about before. And then we have trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. I love this because it feels like it's connected to the Five of Pentacles, where it's like there is enough time. You know, like you can take your time to slow down, to tune into what you feel like is nurturing for you, to take your time to look inside and fully allow yourself that transformation, that change, that blossoming, and that healing. Really, like there is that part of like there is a key piece of healing that until that happens is just kind of like a domino effect. Then we have, I love this, all spirit wisdom. Yeah, it feels like this is kind of like allowing your own wisdom to come through. The more you kind of stepping into your authenticity and in your true self, the more of your own wisdom will be accessible to you, because you will have your whole energy, your whole perception, instead of something that is kind of covered or like hidden. So it feels like very, and also like I don't know, it feels very empowering. This sense of like wisdom is like, it's not just, it doesn't feel just wisdom, it feels like self-empowerment within the process. And this I love that also. I just saw it now, she has wings, and I feel like this is the full version of, at the beginning when we were saying that it felt to me that there was this element of like a blossoming that wasn't fully in place yet, and this sense of becoming the butterfly. Here, like, you will be blossomed, like you are blossomed, like you have your wings, you went through the cocoon phase and you're out, and you have full access to your wisdom and your own power. Feels like there is a lot of power there for you to access once this process will kind of sort of like come to conclusion. And I love this, and we have this spirit with prosperity. It feels like whatever you are grateful for right now is gonna become tenfold more once you go through all this process. It's like it's just there for you. There is so much prosperity waiting for you. There is not just enough, there is more than enough, you know, with the card before. It's just kind of allowing yourself to go through this process and trust, because there is so much more that is awaiting you out of that door, you know, like so much sparkle and magic. Oh my God, this is really beautiful. I know it's like the process is not necessarily easy or fun, but there is so much that is so positive that is waiting for you, that is, you will not believe it once you get there. It's like, oh my God, you know, like I think once you will look back, you're like, how did I even live in that way before? You know, I think you will not be able to understand how you managed to do that. So very, very beautiful. I feel like this is the message for you, beautiful pile 3, for today. I hope this resonated. Please, you're very welcome to let me know in the comments. And if you like to support me, please subscribe to my channel. I will be so grateful. And as well, like the video, sorry, not the post. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye. Hi, pile 4. If you chose this piece of tiger eye, then this is your reading. Let's see what we got for you. So we have first the tarot cards, and I will share in a minute what each card means. And then we have as well clarifiers for each card. I'm able to squeeze them all together so you guys can see them properly. Okay. And then we have the clarifier. Oh, beautiful. We have truth for the first card. Squeeze it down there. And then we have patience for the second one. We have grounding for the third. We have time for the fourth. And then we have morning dew for the fifth card. Beautiful. Wow, I'm getting a very similar vibe to group number 1. I wonder if you guys also were drawn to group number 1. I feel like similar to them, like you have very, very positive cards. And I feel like within the healing of the soul part, like it's more like just refinements here, because like the overall view, it's very, very good. It's extremely positive. So yes, that's amazing. That's really, really, really great. Getting already such really balanced vibes from your group. Like it's great. It's really, really great. So let's get into the first set of cards. We have the King of Wands and the Moon Rising Truth. And the first set of cards represent really the state of your current, of the soul, of your current condition of your inner self. And we have with the King of Cups, like I feel like your soul, like there is a sense of alignment. Like I want to show you better this card. I don't know if you saw it before. There is like an incredible sense of alignment, especially from an emotional standpoint. There is like so much emotional mastery that your soul already has, and there is a lot of as I said it already, like alignment that comes with that. So it feels like a very peaceful in a sense. Yes, you still have to achieve things, you still have your goals, but there is a sense of like deep inner balance, and with that also peace because of that, on a very deep level of your soul. Like I feel like you have learned, like I don't know if what lesson you have learned before, but whatever you faced already has made you grow so much that there is already so much mastery, especially from an emotional standpoint and an emotional intelligence that is, I will say, quite uncommon. It's actually very, very uncommon to have this level of emotional intelligence and mastery. So honestly, congratulations to you, because it's great. It's really, really great. So then we step into the next two cards, which are like, let's say the source of imbalance. What is causing the imbalance? I want to say there is very little imbalance here, but for whatever reason there is a little bit, and that's good to look at it. And we have the Six of Wands and the Patience card, and what comes to me with looking at these cards is like, maybe when you go for your successes, or you expect something to come to fruition, there is a sense of like rush into it, or want it to come really fast. And the thing is, like, all the success that is meant for you will come, because it's already like, it's already about to bloom. But there is the need of like a level of patience within the process, because even though you're doing all the right things and you're already in the right place mentally and emotionally, then sometimes things take still the time to manifest, and we need to be okay with that. And to have enough patience that you will see everything blossom, and everything that you work for come to fruition and have the recognition that you deserve. You just need to have that extra like level of patience, let's say, because everything is already there line out for you, but there is the need of that time to manifest and to become. But again, as I said, it's like it's a very, I feel like it's quite when I say small imbalance, it's not a big deal at all. It's just that level of, for yourself more than anything else, level of balance, like patience, where you can, when you know that what is your reward is gonna come for you, is just, like, it might take a little bit longer than you would like to, and that's entirely okay. Then we have the next set of cards. We have like, let's say how to heal even deeper, and the steps or action to take to really heal your soul. And I love that we have Ace of Cups, and then we have grounding with phrase that says, I practice my nourishment by connecting back with the earth. And I'm gonna like, again, even here is like such a beautiful sense of, it's not like a big step that you need to take, because you're already there, you already have the emotional maturity, but there is a level where you can still more and more connect with your own creativity, your own emotional expression, and like, in a sense, it's like even compassion for yourself, because sometimes, as I said, things might take a bit longer, and you need to have a bit more patience. But the thing is, like, you already have all of this. It's just, I feel like specifically in this case for you, it's just one of those things that is just a reminder of things that you already know. You already know all of this. It's just an extra reminder of like, you are already there. Is just be reminded of it, and with that as well, like to ground more within yourself, within your own emotion, because you already have that mastery within yourself, within your soul. So it's just like, in the moment that maybe you feel like impatience, it's just kind of like to be reminded to ground yourself within that, because you already have it. It will take you literally a second. So I think it's just a really beautiful, as I said, reminder, nothing more for you. I don't feel like you need to take, I don't feel like there is really a learning curve so much in your case. I feel like it's already there, it's already within you. And it's just that moment of awareness when these stressful moments happen, to just be like reminded that second, I already know this. I already know how to handle this, and just kind of ground back within yourself, within your own emotional mastery. And and I feel like if you can also express more your creativity, why not? That is a huge plus. So it feels like, life can be even better. For some of you, there is an element of like moving somewhere else that you find more nurturing and is more grounding for you. For example, if you're living in a really currently in a really busy place, it doesn't allow you this sense of like stability or harmony or peace, then maybe this can be an input to, or you were kind of wondering, shall I just move house? Then this may be like a good time to maybe look for a different place or find somewhere that is more nurturing for you, really like on a more on a soul level. Then we have, for the next set of cards, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the card Time that says planning, making decision, taking risk. And these two set of cards represent is like sort of like what to release, like any negative energies or things that we could let go of. And again, I get this sense is like they're so positive, like it's very little, like what you could work towards to let go. And again, it feels like as before, it's just like really a reminder. So I feel like for you, this reading is just little reminders, nothing more than that, because everything is pretty much very aligned and very, very positive. And even within your healing process, it's like you're so much ahead. Probably you've done a lot of work beforehand. So it's like this is already the phase of the rewards, let's say. And within what you could let go of, that it maybe again could hold a little bit back, is the idea of like, having it's very similar to the patience. It's like, yes, it's like all this reward, all this abundance, all this success is there for you and is bound to happen. There is just the need of time. The time for things to is actually the same thing of before. Is like, this is definitely meant for you. This success is the reward are just coming to you, but there is the need of time, enough time for them to be manifested, for them to be come fully into fruition. And maybe that involves a little bit more planning and a little bit more of decision making, but more than anything is patience and time for the actual thing to manifest. So I like that in a sense. Is like the negative aspect or imbalance is it kind of repeats the same thing again. Is just be reminded that everything will come to you, everything you work for will be coming for you. You put a lot of work in the past, maybe even your previous life, who knows, and now you're very close to this fruition. You just need a bit more time for all of that to manifest, but it's definitely there for you. So if anything, you can let go of again of this sense of like rush, because it is gonna manifest. It's gonna happen. It's just already there. It's just the need of a bit more time and maybe planning or making some decision here and there. But other than that, as I said before, it's a very small thing. And it's something just like for you to be reminded of as this point of awareness, nothing more. Then we have in the other set of cards, we have sort of like what to embrace, or like the positive energy to bring forward. And we have the Eight of Wands and then Morning Dew with clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I'm gonna show you in a second. Okay, let me just show you to you now. Like this card, I think it's really, really beautiful. And I feel with this is like things will, I feel like when there is a point that things will happen really fast for you. You know, with Eight of Wands, this is one of the fastest card out of all the tarot deck. And, you know, like there is a lot of opportunities, a lot of growth, a lot of power, and it will be manifested really, really fast. And similar to everything we already said, like there is just a need of like that sense of like patience and nourishment. Like you can see like she's blossoming out of a flower, and for the blossoming there is the need of enough time for that to blossom. Once there is enough clarity, once that like there is the alignment and then the emotional fulfillment that you already really have within you, things will go really, really fast. It's just kind of attaining that moment of like patience, and I don't want to say rest necessarily with that, but just like assurance that things will just happen at their own time, and then you will be surprised how fast things will go after that. It's like it will be like this moment that you're like, I cannot believe that I've ever thought things were slow, you know, because once things will pick up, they will pick up real fast. But I feel like, yeah, there is this sense of like just kind of being okay. Like it's this sense of being okay that things might take a little bit longer, and once you kind of accept that, it just things will switch. So yeah, I think it's a really incredibly positive cards and positive general views of like the state where you're in, because it's like, as I said, I think this is one like the most positive reading as well, added with the first group, which I don't know if you were drawn to, but yeah, it's a really amazing place already to be in. So congratulations for that. So I'm just gonna pick a few more cards for you to like have some extra messages. And we have Whale and Orca, Elders, Share Your Song, Frequency of Sound, Diving Deep. And I love that there is as well like a lot of like the in a sense is like the water, you know, like which is also connected to emotions. And maybe there is something about sound that can support you and help you in this process of like finding this sense of patience within like how long things can take. There is something with the frequency of the sound. Sound healing maybe is something that will support you, like if you have this moment that you feel like you become impatient. This can be maybe like a way that you can tap more into let's say like the right like alignment that you need then in order to manifest when you need to manifest. So there might be something for you within that. And then we have perspective. None of this matter, zoom out, common ground. And yeah, I feel like whenever like you get this moment, if you have this moment of again like unsettlement because you feel like things are not manifesting as fast as you would like them to, is like it's just a perspective really. Like you can realize that in the moment you realize that you zoom out of the situation and you kind of like in a sense step back, you will see that it's like it doesn't matter, things are already in motion in the right direction. And if you were giving a little bit too much energy, for some of you maybe some stress regarding like when is this gonna happen, I worked so hard for this, it's really important to zoom out. And as I was saying before, like if there is some sort of like sound healing that you can do, if you do yourself, like I recently, for example, like learned to play crystal balls and Tibetan balls, and it's really like amazing how much sounds and frequency can change your state and alter it. Like, so if you're stressed, it's like you can tune into that and do a little bit of that. Even on YouTube, you can watch some channel of incredible frequency that will immediately shift your mood. But there's so many ways. It's just to be reminded that stress when it happens is not even in a sense real, because everything that is real, it's already in line for you. And then we have Pine Spirit with Purification. Yeah, and I feel like this is really connected with whatever elements of, if you have moments where you get stressed, it's important to let go and purify, like, in a sense, I want to say the mind, and whatever negative thoughts that come for you, because honestly, like, the state of your soul is so positive, is so incredibly positive, that is just the mental chatter that needs to be cleansed away, you know, within that, because everything else is already like completely in place, completely like ready to be in the line of what your life is supposed to become. And if you do get this moment of thoughts of like stress, you know, like, to find way to purify and cleanse those negative thoughts, because you have no, like, honestly, there is no point. It's like, it really doesn't, all of that negativity does not matter if you have moments that it comes to you. And again, as I said, I'm gonna repeat it one more time, but sound can be something that can really support you with that. And then for the last card, we have Wisdom with the Owl Spirit. And yeah, I feel like honestly, this wisdom is already there. It's already there for you. It's just about quieting whatever negative chatter that might come up in your mind. But you already have all the deep wisdom, especially on the emotional level, that is there for you on the other side. And everything is just so already aligned that it's just for you to be quiet enough within your mind to be able to assess it, because it's 100% there, it's 100% ready for you. You don't really need to in some cases, like, people need to do a lot of healing before they get to a stage where they can assess deeper layers of their wisdom. But I feel like in your case, group number 4 is like, you already have it, it's already there, you know. It's just that little bit of awareness, the little bit like of cleansing whatever negative thoughts that come or stress, and really focus on what matters, and finding ways to, if you do get like out of alignment for a moment, finding ways that help you, support you to immediately go back to it, because you are already there. So I think that's really, really beautiful. I feel like this is the reading for you guys is complete. You're very welcome to let me know in the comments if you resonated with it. If you didn't, I would love to hear. And if you would like to support me, please subscribe to my channel. I would be super grateful. And as well, like this video. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye.